The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Rhythm, leader in data-driven picks and props. Rhythm is giving away a $250 future and throwing a March Madness party. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for details. Plus, compete against SGPN this March in an epic college basketball survivor contest. First place gets $75,000. Enter at splashsports.com/SGPN. We're also brought to you by SGPN giving away a $2,000. That's it. Just giving away $2,000 for free. How do you get it? Just enter the March Madness bracket competition. Sign up today over there at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no guy. It's me, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. All right, welcome to the TED Talk. Let's talk about a horrible loss yesterday, and then a great win. Because, yes, we did cash the Pelicans plus 240 on the money line. Never in doubt. I mean, never in doubt. Fading the Clippers on the road is a new favorite pastime here in the NBA Gambling Podcast. So, that's what happens when you're not scared either. See a 7.5 point. Some people see 7.5 point dogs and they run, tuck their tail and try to take the favorite on the money line. No. We are not afraid to pick dogs here outright. Shout out to the Pelicans. And then earlier that day, I just needed overtime. I didn't care how we got there. I just needed overtime in the Bucks and the Pacers game because we were falling just a tad bit short. And at one point, the Pacers were leading, and I was mad because the Pacers were going to win the game. And then the Pacers blew it. And I was like, oh, the Bucks have a chance to tie. But the Bucks decided to take the lead. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, the Bucks taking the lead. Now I have to hope the Pacers tie again. And then the Pacers, they could have did two things. He could have made the shot, no foul. We went to overtime, and we cashed this over in overtime. Or he could have missed the shot, got fouled, and then hit the 3 free throws, and we went to overtime. What does Halliburton decide to do? He says, oh, no, I'm going to make this a 4-point play. Scott Foster. I blame Scott Foster. Pacers get the win, 115-114. Total comes in at 129 there. Really annoying. But it's a new day. Got a bunch of more games to talk about. Way more games to talk about. And we got Lonte with me, the nerd, Lonte Smith. Lonte, what's going on?
Not much, man. Ready to talk some hoops.
Yeah, let's get into it. It's no point in wasting any time. But first, we're giving away $2,000 in our free March Madness bracket competition. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket to sign up today, and you can compete against SGPN this March in our $75K winner take all college basketball survivor contest. Enter at splashsports.com/SGPN. All right, let's get into it. First game on the docket, and it's a doozy. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder. This line going on the road to play the Boston Celtics. This line opened up at 4.5. It is down to 2. 228.5 is the total here. Injury report for these two teams, and we got for the Oklahoma City Thunder, J-Dub is not playing in this game. He is out with that hip injury. We've got no Aji Mitchell still, and Alex Caruso is a questionable. He is on the sick report. One game, one team, one player already on the sick report today. Very, very interesting stuff here. On the other side of the tape, we've got the Boston Celtics, who knee probable for Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen Brown is probable today. We got a questionable tag for Jason Tatum and a questionable tag for Porzingis, who has been out for a number of games on the sick report. Two teams, two mentions of the sick report. I'm telling you, people, at this point, flu season is over. At this point, it's just, I don't know what's going on, but the sick report has been going crazy all year. I haven't seen it go this wild since COVID. All right, Lonte, why are you taking the Boston Celtics here?
Well, I don't even know if I am or not. I got to see if Jalen and if the two Jays are going to play. At least one of them. I would rather it be Jason than Jalen. If
Oh,
I had to,
you got Jalen. It says probable. We have not seen a probable tag come in this season where that person has not played. If they were
yeah,
probable, they played.
yeah. So and JT's questionable, right?
Yeah, he's questionable.
Yeah. So if they're both in, I'll take Boston. But if they're not, I'll just pass. I mean, I thought the number was a little bit high early on, so the 4.5 kind of got away. I think it's probably just about right now. But if both of those guys play, it's probably too short. OKC's having problems defensively. Since the All-Star break, they're ranked 21st defensively. And I mean, they've only been dogs 3 times all year. I mean, albeit a short dog. They did handle business against Boston 105-92 back in January, and they were only favored by a point, which if you flip it, this doesn't make a lot of sense here. And Boston, they got held to 27 points in the second half. They shot 9 for 46 from three. The SGA was awesome as usual. But yeah, if it's kind of a pick and choose. If I get the two J's in and I like Boston, if they're not, I'll probably just look at the total to go over. Boston 5 straight wins, 5-1 on the current homestand. I'm worried about OKC's defense short term. I think they'll get it together long term once they get in the playoffs and able to scheme to opponent. But if I had to make something official, I would go over. But without knowing if both of those Jays are going to play, I would just probably pass. But Boston would be the side I would be going towards.
Let's see here. I am going to take OKC, and it's because OKC, despite all of this horrible defense, that I agree with you, they've been really, really bad since the All-Star break. I've talked about it. We bet a lot of overs with them. But they defend the 3-point line, and they've been pretty solid in defending the 3-point line, not letting teams go really, really crazy from three. And that's what you're going to have to do against Boston, is be able to guard out in the perimeter and not let them go crazy. This line dropping from 4.5 and 2 is basically telling me that Tatum's not playing. It feels, well, Porzingis was always a stretch. I don't think Porzingis really moved the needle for me at all, actually. But this questionable tag on Jason Tatum, the fact that Tatum, it feels like, let me see, make sure I'm not lying, but I think Tatum's been playing a lot recently too. Like, it's been a little while since he's had a day off. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like, oh, there's no J-Dub in this game playing. We're going to sit one of our guys to, it doesn't feel like the motivation is really there on both of these two teams because of the injuries to really prove to one another that, hey, we're really the best team. Yeah, maybe a get up spot for Boston, but I just think OKC, with SGA and how SGA is playing and the relief that he gives that offense of being able to score literally whenever he wants. And then the bigs, I think Chet is going to have a really big game here because there's a potential for no Porzingis. We'll see what Al Horford's be able to do, but Al Horford a lot better guarding out in the perimeter, kind of keeping the smaller guys in front of him when he gets to challenging really, really bigs. It's not as much. So, yeah, I'm on OKC here. I'm good taking the Boston Celtics right now. So, OKC for me. Total. I would like an under, but I just don't trust OKC defensively, so I can't get there on the total. Anything else here for you?
No, that's it.
All right, we got the Philadelphia 76ers on the road going to play the Toronto Raptors. Raptors are laying 3.5 here. 220.5 is the total. If you added both of these two teams' wins together, it would be 44. If you added both of these two teams' losses together, it would be 85. It's not good. It's really, really not good, people. It's not good at all. All right. Philly's catching 3.5. 220.5 is total. Injury report here for the Philadelphia 76ers. And we got Andre Drummond. 3 teams. We have talked about 3 teams. 3 mentions of an illness on each team. Andre Drummond is questionable with an illness here. We've got Kelly Oubre, who was questionable with an ankle injury. Paul George, Kyle Lowry, Tyrese Maxey, all out. for the Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes is questionable with the right hand sprain. We've got Jameson Battle, questionable with the nose injury. We got Abaji, questionable. No, he's doubtful. He's not playing in this game. RJ Barrett is out. Grady Dick is out. Jonathan Mogbo is out. Emmanuel Quickly is out. Jacoby Walter is out. Good luck. Give me the points. What are you doing?
Yeah, I would take the Raptors. I mean, I don't see a ton of value in either side, but I mean, the Raptors at home, they cover numbers, the 2013 2 ATS. They've won and covered 4 of the last 5, just in better form. I know they're missing guys, but they have guys step up and play. Barrett and Lawson actually played together when they were kids, so a little being reunited kind of lit a fire under him. AJ Lawson was great in his last game. They got a team record 73 rebounds in their last game. Toronto did. So they're obviously going to rebound the ball. No Drummond interior, so I don't know if they'll be able to control the glass. Phillies 3-7 ATS last 10, allowed 120 plus in 4 straight. 3 of those were on the road. So I think we see. I would go over. So I think we see a lot of points, kind of AAU style. I like Toronto here. I would also look at the props aren't out yet for him just yet, but I would look at Ricky Council props because Nick Nurse went out of his way to speak on Ricky Council and how they needed him to be more effective and more assertive, especially on the glass. So I would look at PR for Ricky Council once those numbers drop. I just looked and I didn't see it, but just something to monitor.
Shout out to Ricky Council, Southern Durham grad. Just got his jersey retired over there at Southern Durham.
They're playing for the state championship. Yep.
Huh?
They're playing for the state championship.
Yep, playing on Friday. My brother coached for the team.
Really?
4-star. Yeah, 4-star recruit
Jackson
for Jackson Keith. Yep, going over to Butler. Hey man, he gets. I'm just letting you know if you in the greater North Carolina area or you anywhere and you think you can hoop, I know somebody that's sending people to the league. That's all I'm gonna say. But, Lonte just talked about how Nick Nurse talk about dude. I know, and he rocked with Trey Murphy too. Just saying, I know people that send people to the league. If you got a kid and they can hoop, send me some tape. I might be able to get them over there at Southern Durham.
AJ Mormon is probably the next one up.
Freshman. He just went, bro. He just sent it to me earlier today. They named him second team as a freshman.
Yeah, he's good, bro. He's good.
Only freshman getting any postseason honors.
He's super good. Super good.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he averages like almost a triple double. He's like 5'9".
Yeah, he's super good, man.
Yo,
super
he's
good.
really, really, really good. Shout out to AJ. All right. Yeah. Screw AJ might be better than Bronny. What's going on here? No, we're not doing that with the Toilet Bowl game. Next game up, we've got the Charlotte Hornets going to play the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks laying 8.5. 237.5 is the total. Hawks only 3 games under 500. Very, very close to getting a Toilet Bowl drop here, but they met the threshold. Let's see. For the Charlotte Hornets, we got Nurk, who is questionable with the left shin contusion. Okogie's out. Levert is questionable with the finger injury. We got Trey Young, questionable with the quad. Yeah, that's all that really matters. All right, no sick report in that game. Good to go. Let's see here. We got Charlotte plus 8.5. I'm taking it because I'm not laying the points with the Atlanta Hawks here. Charlotte's been horrible, but they found ways to compete recently. I'll take Charlotte.
Yeah, I like Charlotte here as well. If you look, I mean, they won and covered their last 2 games by the same exact score, 105, 102. I thought it was something right. Yeah, Melo's played really well in his career versus Atlanta. I mean, 22, 7, and 8 is what he's averaging. Defensively, Charlotte's not bad at all. Like, they're actually
they can't score.
Yeah, they just can't score. They're third in 3-point percentage defense. They're middle of the pack in blocks and steals. Like, they play at a decent pace. They just don't have any offense. They're 26 in 2-point percentage defense. So Atlanta's middle of the pack offensively. So they maybe, try to get downhill. Bridges has been playing extremely well. 30 plus in 3 of his last 5. He had 46 versus Cleveland. I mean, the Hornets have been fighting, man. They've been fighting. They've been feisty. Atlanta's defense is horrible, albeit they've won 4 of the last 5, covered 3 of those. They're 27 2-point percentage defense, 28 3-point percentage defense. I mean, if Charlotte can just get some scoring, I think the defense will be able to hold them. But I like the points. I think Charlotte can win it outright.
Yeah. So say it in a lot less words, Atlanta will possibly do everything they can to lose this game. And yeah, can't lay 8.5 with that. Breaking news, Mark Dagnall. Jalen Williams is without timetable for return. Whew, sounds like we're not seeing him to the playoffs. That's what that means. All right. Before we get to the next game of the slate, got to talk to you about Edge Boost. SGPN has partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. If you don't want to, use your actual card over there at the sportsbook, DFS site, or whatever it is, then you can go lock in with Edge Boost because you can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards. Like, that's amazing. Extra $750. Yes, thank you. And your money's safe because the card is FDIC insured, no credit checks, and it's completely free. Sign up today. Use promo code SGPN and get better cashback rewards in an instant. Here to status. Let's see here. I'm probably about to use this and go. We bet Charlotte last time and it worked out for us. Probably do it again here and bet Charlotte plus 8.5. Over there at Edge Boost, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport, and you can bet props. So make sure you lock in there. You can, and they have a bunch of customers, like a whole bunch of customers from a whole bunch of different locations. So just take 2 seconds and go make sure that mybookie.ag is supported in your location, because I bet you it probably is. And easy deposit, lightning fast payouts with crypto, and it's so fast that you wouldn't even expect it. Like, you put your phone down, pick it back up, and your money is there. It's my money, and I need it now, as they used to say. So head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. It's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, let's keep the good times rolling. We got the rematch of a back-to-back game set here. The Dallas Mavericks took the first game. They are currently catching 6. 236.5 is the total against the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. Like I said, San Antonio lost the first game. That was 133 to 129. If you remember, I was on the Mavs team total over there. Wish I went all in on Mavs in that first game there. Now it's the second game. Deja vu principles say I'm supposed to lay the points here, but Jesus Christ, 6 points with this San Antonio Spurs team is diabolical. Injury report for these two teams, and we've got for the Dallas Mavericks, Jesus Christ, Dante Exum is questionable. We've got a PJ Washington who is questionable. We've got Brandon Williams who is questionable. And then all the same players are out. Derek Lively, Gafford, Davis, Kai Jones, Jaden Hardy. For the San Antonio Spurs, Bassey's out. Vassell is questionable with a wrist injury, and Sohan is questionable with the calf injury. All right, Lonte, what are you doing here laying 6 with the Spurs?
Yeah, so first of all, my first play is I like the over. I think it's a little bit too short. The Spurs were embarrassed like the last game. They lost to 8 players. I think Clay had 26. They had 3 players with 20. I think Kessler Edwards had 23 and 11. Najee had 21, and Clay had 26. They basically lost to eight guys, and it's not getting any easier for them. They got guys on minutes restrictions, and it's just a mess. And Spurs,
I will admit, Deja vu principles does say right here in the docket, when the first game goes over, you come back in on the under in the second game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I mean, if you just look at the Spurs have allowed 131, 141, 127, 113, 146 in the last 5. Dallas 129, 125, 122, 137, 122. I mean, I think the pace will be there. I mean, they have to play. You would think Dallas has to play a little bit slower because of the guys that that they don't have. But Clay actually said that they've been playing faster and want to play faster for whatever reason. So Dallas 20-12 over on the road. San Antonio 17-14 over at home. 6 of the last 10 over as well. I mean, I just think that both of these teams will be able to play with play with pace and get to the rim with ease because no rim protection for either side. So we should see a ton of free throws, should see a ton of driving lanes open. Spurs 3-8 straight up without Wemby. Dallas have won the last 5 versus the Spurs. They've covered 4 of those, but they haven't been covering numbers. 3-7 ATS last 10. So side-wise, I would go with San Antonio on a quick revenge spot, but favorite play over 2. What is it, 237.5? Is it still 237.5?
236.5 is going
even,
down.
Yeah, better. Yeah, I like
it's
that.
going down. I don't know, man. Let's call it easy. Let's just take. I mean, the principles hit. You got the dog in the first game. You got the over in the first game. Now I can't come back in on the over. I'll let you know that right now. One, Dallas and San Antonio were on the second leg of a back-to-back in that first game. So I think that has a lot to do with why that game went over. The injuries, all of this, and them playing directly again immediately in the rematch, and adding the fact of the coaching, and they're probably going to try everything they can to play a better defensive matchup because they gave up 130 points on both sides. Yeah, no, I can't back an over there. No, it's under for me. Under 236.5. I think this is a better game. And yeah, sure, I'll lay the 6 with San Antonio just because you don't want to try to strike lightning in a bottle twice with Dallas. But San Antonio should not be laying 6 against anybody. And I'm not going to bet that because San Antonio should not be laying 6 against anybody. All right. Unders, I like the under. Under's actually probably one of my favorite plays. Got to go with the deja vu principles, man. When the first game goes over, it does go under the second game. More often than not. All right. Los Angeles Clippers and the Miami Heat battling in Miami. Heat laying 2.5. Oh, Jesus Christ. You're telling me I'm going to have to pick? Okay, Heat laying 2.5 here. 206.5 is the total. Damn, really? 206.5 is the total. We've got Drew Eubanks, who is oh no, he might be playing in this game. They played yesterday, so he was out for that game yesterday. We'll see if he's going to play today. Looks like he's a game time decision. We've got Terry Rozier, who is probable on the sick report for this game. And we've got Alec Burks, who is questionable with the back injury. Jovic is out. Before we get to actually talking about the game, I do have one thing as soon as I get my screen back together. There we go. Oh, wait. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were both spotted participating in shoot-around. Well, present at shoot-around. Let me say that. Let me say the right word. Present at shoot-around. It doesn't say that they're participating. And I think that is a very, very key thing because I'm pretty sure they normally say Let me go back and look in the past. I'm pretty sure they normally say participating in shoot-around. Present at shoot-around. Yeah, see, look. It just said 29 minutes ago, Trae Young was participating in shoot-around. Now it says that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are present in shoot-around. Words mean something, people. All right. Lonte, you can either do the horrible thing in laying 2.5 with the Miami Heat, or you can do the horrible thing in taking the Clippers.
I mean, this is such an interesting game. I don't really know what to do. I wanted to go under, but it got away from me. I saw 210.5 on the open. The close of the last game was 216, so it's getting a little bit out of range right now. But I mean, Clippers in an interesting spot. Brian Shaw is coaching the team due to Tyronn Lue being out with some back pain, so that's got to be some serious back pain if he's not on the sideline. I mean, they haven't covered. They're 2-8 ATS last 10. That's a horrible, horrible loss for the Pelicans. I would expect them to bounce back, especially with how well Harden's been playing, and then Kawhi had a big night as well. They just couldn't put it together. But I mean, Miami, they have got their own issues as well. They've covered 6 of the last 10 despite losing 4 games, which is like a season high. They got 2 really bad losses, but all 4 of the losses were by 5 or less. Their offense hasn't been good, which is why I was trending towards the under. They haven't scored over 110 in 5 straight. Um, yeah, I'll still take the under. I just think that both teams will be able to slower pace. They both, defend the three pretty well, top 15. They both have similar styles of play. I think defense leads here, so I would go under. I'll stay away from the side. I mean, you pretty much can just flip a coin, and so that would indicate to me to just take the points. But nothing strong, but I like the under.
Yeah, the Clippers have been horrible on the road. Haven't been able to score the basketball. Yeah, they played solid defensively, but if you can't score, you can't do anything. Both of these two teams are dead bottom of the league in pace. In terms of playing on the road, playing at home since the All-Star break and their home road splits. Yeah, I mean, there's no way I can get behind. I can't get behind either one of these teams. That's tough. Give me Miami 1-10 just because the Clippers are on the road, and we talked about it yesterday. The Clippers are really bad on the road, and they just lost to that Pelicans team that was. Some people would be like, "How would you ever have seen that coming?" I say, have you seen this Clippers team play before? So, with the thought that Miami can actually not close a game to save their life, it would only be right if they finally were able to close a game against the Clippers. I'll take Miami 1-10. Think that's a really good play here. Let me see here. What's the price on the 1-10 for Miami? It is 2-1. Yeah, sure. I'd rather go to Miami or just take Miami on the money line, and maybe we get the random Miami wins by 2 or wins by 1 game that we've seen them do in years of the past. And you know what? Have we gotten one of those where we've gotten a short Miami spread and they won by 1 or 2 and didn't cover the spread but got the money line win? I don't think we've gotten that this year. So that might be due. Miami's good for doing that at least once a year. I got to go back and check the records. I don't think we've gotten that one. I wish JR was here. JR knows. Uh, yeah, yeah, man, we are so due for Miami to not cover 2.5 but still win the game. That is really really due. They've done that like at least once every season. I feel like since we've been talking about them. All right, enough of that. Next game up, we've got the Phoenix Suns on the road going to play the Houston Rockets. Rockets are laying 4.5 here. 228.5 is the total injury report, and we've got for both of these two teams. Where's the Rockets and there we go. Monte Morris is doubtful with a back injury in this one. For the Rockets, we got Fred VanVleet, who looks like he's going to make his return, probable for this game. So it looks like he'll be back from an ankle injury that caused him to miss the last 15 games. Yeah, like 15 games he's been out. We've got Reed Shepard and Amin Thompson, who are both dealing with injury, and they are not playing as well. So Fred VanVleet potentially back in the lineup here for the Houston Rockets. Suns still been pretty bad. What's the updated Suns ATS in the last 10 games? They managed to climb themselves to 6-4. So they've been, and they covered 4 straight. Okay, Phoenix, look at you. Houston coming off of 3 straight wins, 3 straight covers, covered 4 of their last 5 games. What are you doing here with the Houston Rockets?
Yeah, I like Phoenix. You mentioned the numbers for the ATS wise. I think they've been playing extremely well. Despite, I mean, they've lost a few games here and there, but they've all been pretty close and competitive. Houston favorable schedule. I mean, their numbers are a little bit. I mean, they played the Pelicans twice. They played Orlando. I think Orlando was on a back-to-back. They lost to Indiana. They played the Spurs and the Jazz. So I would expect them to have a decent overall ATS record. 7-3 ATS last 10. I mean, their offense is still struggling big time. Maybe Fred being back kind of helps that. No Amin, it takes away from the athleticism on the wing as well as the playmaking. So you're having Jalen Green do a lot more playmaking than scoring. But Phoenix, I think Phoenix can hit some threes. I know that's the strength of Houston is their defense, but they played back in February the 12th with no Booker, no Beal. Fred VanVleet also didn't play, and 119, 111 was the score. So Phoenix kind of stood in there, and if they get Beal back in the lineup, but they've been without him, here and there, so not really a ton of like continuity. But even if he's not in there, I think they'll be fine to stay within this number. I think they can win it outright, actually. So I like Phoenix. I think they can knock down enough threes over that over that pressure defense. Fred VanVleet, not sure how much he's going to be effective in this specific role with him just coming back fresh off that ankle injury. I don't know if they want to kind of ease him into a lot of minutes or what the case may be. But I like Phoenix. I like the form of Phoenix. Not a discount of Houston, but I think they've been just favorable schedule. So I'll take Phoenix plus the points.
Yeah, I think that's wild. Nah, I can't get there with Phoenix. No way. No way can I get there on the Phoenix side of the ball. Phoenix is horrible. Phoenix is horrible. There's plenty of times where Phoenix looks like that they should be in control of the game, and they're not. They were down 20 to that Clippers team. They really, really, really let the Dallas Mavericks hang around in that game. I know they ended up covering the spread at the end of it. They really, really let them hang around in that game. And then they probably should have beat Memphis. Yeah, no, there's no way. No, I don't care what Phoenix is doing recently. I'm not taking Phoenix. At home, since the All-Star break, Rockets still playing stout defensively. They've been a good home team all year. And since the All-Star break, let me get that. 4-1-1 ATS, so not bad. All as a home favorite, getting it done. They're 5-1. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to back the Rockets here. They've been 5-1 at home since the All-Star break. 4-1-1 ATS, still really good. I can't trust the Phoenix Suns, who haven't been good on the road at all this season, and the best basketball that they're playing is against the Dallas Mavericks, who have nobody, and they're driving a dead carcass across the finish line here of the season, and the Los Angeles Clippers. Yeah, right. I'm good. I'm taking Houston. Let's see here. Before we get to the next game of the slate, gotta talk to you about Rhythm. Because Rhythm they're throwing a March Madness party. If you haven't heard already, we talked about it for it feels like a number of weeks now, but in case you didn't hear, yeah, they're throwing a March Madness party. It's in Vegas at the beautiful and awesome Stadium Swim. By the way, if you have not been to Stadium Swim, you really, really should go, and it's a really, really good time. I think that watching a basketball, it wasn't even basketball season, it was football season, and watching football games from the pool with a drink in hand. Granted, I didn't have tequila at that time. I was taking a little break from hard liquor, so I was drinking a Corona. But still, very, very good vibe that was going on there in Vegas at Stadium Swim. And plus, guess what? You're gonna get free drinks if you go there to this party because Scott is paying for everybody. Everybody. I'm telling you right now. So when you get there, go look for Scott Studio Reichel. You might have to look down a little bit because Scott is a rather short gentleman. And well, at least compared to me, Scott's a rather short gentleman. And so if you look straight ahead, you might not see him. But if you look down a little bit and head over to the bar area, you'll more than likely see Scott, and he will buy you a drink because drinks are free. So go hang out with all the guys from SGPN and have a chance to win a $250 March Madness future for one random lucky Rhythm user. Even if you can't make the party, you can still be in it with the future. So go get a chance to sign up. 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm RITHMM. And for more information on the party, go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, NBA, NHL, college basketball, whatever's your fancy, you can play it over there. Pick higher or lower on fantasy projections for your favorite players. And, we'll drop an Underdog lineup at the end of the show, so stick around for that. Go sign up with promo code NBASGPN. Claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBASGPN. All right, moving. What? You thought we were the same height? No, Scott's short. I feel like when I saw Scott, I was like, he's not short like a midget, but I was definitely looking down at Scott. You know who's tall that you might not have thought is tall? Because I looked down to Kramer. I looked down to Sean. Kobe looks eye to eye with me. Kobe is pretty tall. You know who's really tall? Scott Bowser. Scott Bowser's pretty tall too. Who else is tall around here? I'm trying to think. Nah, most of SGPN is some short people, man. Really are. Wow, Scott looks tall here. Wow, really? How many of y'all think Scott is tall? Am I remembering this wrong? I gotta go find a picture. Am I remembering this wrong? Is Scott taller than I think he is? No way.
No, I've never seen Scott
I feel
except for just on here.
it's been some years, but I feel like Scott isn't. I feel like I really feel like because when Scott and I first met, it was really really awkward, and so I remember thinking, oh man, a little bit shorter than I thought. But Kramer, wow, oh wow, he looks taller than me. Oh no way, Scott is definitely not taller than me. No way. All right, let's keep it moving. We got 2 games left on the slate. No, 3 games left on the slate. Sorry. Well, really 2. We got the Utah Jazz going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies are laying 12. 247 is the total. Wow, Utah 15 wins and 50 losses. That's actually impressive. Just also reconfirming what I said earlier this season. There's a lot of bad teams in the NBA this year. All right, for the Utah Jazz injury report, Jordan Clarkson is questionable, which is an upgrade for him, seeing how he missed the last 7 games. We've got Lauri Markkanen, who is questionable with the back injury. This would be an upgrade because he's missed the last 10 games. We've got Jayden Springer, who is questionable with the back injury as well. And we got Keontae George, who is doubtful with the foot injury. He's not playing. And Jaren Jackson Jr. is out. Santi Aldama is out. Zach Edey is questionable. Brandon Clark is questionable. Yeah, as much as I would love to continue the Memphis train here, they got very, very lucky a few games ago getting the cover as double-digit favorites against Dallas, and they won that one by 11. Very, very lucky. They didn't even cover against the Suns. They didn't cover against the Pelicans. Maybe I have Jordan Clarkson in this game. Maybe I have Lauri Markkanen in this game. I'm going to take the Jazz plus the points here. This seems like the game where the Jazz are probably randomly up in this game, and then they proceed to tank but still cover the game. Give me the Jazz plus the points.
Yes, my favorite player on the card. I love Utah. 7-3 ATS last 10. They're decent on the road. ATS 18-15. They can defend the 3. I mean, Memphis is banged up. 1-9 ATS last 10. If they can protect the paint, is Kessler in, right? Kessler's playing, right? Walker.
I didn't see him on injury report, so
okay,
I say yeah.
That's cool. That's good. I don't trust Memphis to win by margin. I mean, they haven't won a game by margin and by this margin since February 5th. I mean, the misleading score versus Dallas, that was like a 2 or 3 point game. In the middle of the fourth quarter, and then it kind of just took off free throws and stuff like that. But Memphis is banged up, man. They're playing a ton of younger guys. I mean, Lamar Stevens, Marvin Bagley, Cam Spencer had a big night or a big third quarter, and he was talking some trash to KD. But I mean, I think Memphis will win. But would I be surprised if Utah won? No. 1-9 ATS last 10 as well for Memphis. So yeah, give me Utah. I mean, this is open 13.5. It's down to what it is now. I also like the over. I think both teams will be able to score. Memphis is going to score regardless of who's on the floor, just the way their offense is ran. But yeah, I like Utah. I like the over.
Very, 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 very disrespected. Everybody thinks Scott is taller than me. That's crazy. This is insanity. This is insanity. What's going on here? What is going on? Oh man. All right. Yeah. Feels like Utah's a clear spot. My New York Knickerbockers are on the road going to play the Portland Trailblazers. Knicks are laying 4. 228.5 is total. Faded the Knicks last time. It didn't work well for me. Let's see what they're doing here against Portland. We've got Brunson out per usual. Thibault is expected to make his debut against the Knicks. Wow, what a season debut on March 12th. That's like starting your first day of school on the 100th day of school. Like, you know how they do the 100th day of school celebration? That's like coming in on the 100th day of school and being like, all right, here for the year. Let's have a great year, guys. Like, what do you mean, yo? It's only like 60 days of school left. Like, yo, they really bringing Thibault back on the 100th day of school. Like, that's crazy. Just let him sit out for the season. Matter of fact, send him over to Thailand to play with Dwight Howard. What? All right, Thibault's back. I had to go. What? The 100th day of school and you're coming and starting the season? All right. I guess they feel like they can make a run for the playoffs here. Robert Williams is questionable with the knee injury, and I thought Grant is out. Yeah, Grant's doubtful. I knew that was true. So Grant's doubtful. He's not playing. DeAndre Ayton's out. All right. What do you make of the New York Knicks here?
I don't like the Knicks. Not without Brunson. No way, no how. They had a good bounce back because they shot 22 or 40 from three. It's pretty much an outlier. They're under 110 points per game in 3 of their last 5, 2 and 8 ATS last 10. They're a little bit under 500 on the road. They don't defend the three, no dip. And this is a really, really important stretch for Portland. I think they're 4.5 or 5 games back from the play-in, and they're starting a stretch of 7 straight at home. So this is definitely important. They've lost 4 straight and 1 and 3 ATS. It was a tough schedule. They were competitive in all but the one versus OKC, which they didn't have anybody and they got blown out. And they don't really punch up well, like play well against the better competition. But the Knicks without Brunson is kind of negating to that. So I like a low pace, low scoring game. I think Portland wins this outright. So give me Portland, the points, and the under.
You know what? I think I realized what I did wrong with the Kings game too. The Knicks only lose to the top teams in the league. They don't really lose to all these other, like everybody else that may be hot or like going on a little win streak. All Knicks don't lose to those teams. They only lose to the top teams in the league, and maybe they get a little letdown spot here or there. Yeah, just give me the Knicks. By the way, shout out King All Trades, Aggie Pride. Hey, Lonte's an Aggie too. You might not know that. I think he's kept it on the low a little bit. He might have talked about it on TC, but Lonte is an Aggie too. We got a couple of Aggies here on the show. Got an Aggie in the chat. It's Aggie Pride all over here. Founders Day was just the other day. Let me see here. All right, yeah, I'm going with the Knicks. I'm just going to stop fading the Knicks against team under 500. They beat teams under 500. If you're closer to the top of the league, that's probably when I'm going to fade the Knicks, even without Brunson. All right. No, I don't really. You have anything on the total? I don't really like the total here.
Yeah, I like under. If Portland's going to win, they're going to have to prevent those threes. And like I said, Knicks, I don't really trust them to. They've been moving the ball and playing a little bit with a little bit more pace without Brunson because obviously Brunson is just, ball dominant. So they've looked better offensively. They just can't score. I mean, like I said, under 110 points in 3 of the last 5. And I think Portland will be able to control the tempo. Their perimeter defense is really good, and especially if they're getting Thibault back. So him and Kamara on the wing, Jesus. But yeah, I like under.
And last game of the night, we've got the Minnesota Timberwolves going to play the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets are laying 4. 235 is the total injury report. Rudy Gobert is questionable. We've got Jokic probable, Jamal Murray probable, Aaron Gordon unlikely to play, and Straw's out. So since Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo have come back, the offense for the Timberwolves has looked a lot better, way better. I don't trust Denver defensively, but I do think Minnesota is still going to be able to score in the game. I like Minnesota's team total over. Minnesota's been good to their team total this season. Denver has been good to allowing teams over their team total this season. My fear for taking Minnesota is the fact that they do not know how to close in the fourth quarter. You get to crunch time, things look really, really bad. If this is a close game, this could go Denver's way. Denver's looking for revenge. They lost the previous 2 matchups this year, I believe, where Minnesota went over their team total in both games. Lost in November, 119, 116. Minnesota did not cover as a 3.5-point favorite, but they did win the game. And they won in Minnesota again end of January, 133-104. This is the first game they're playing in Denver. Yeah, actually, I'll pick Denver -4 just because they're on the road. What are you doing?
I love the over. I think both teams are going to play with pace. Minnesota's really been taking advantage of a weak schedule. I mean, they play the Spurs, the Heat, the Hornets, Philly, and the Suns for their wins, like during their 5-game winning streak. So not really impressed there. But the point is they're playing a lot better in those spots. Now, could that be team dependent? I think it's a little bit of both, which is why I brought it up. But whereas last year was a bad matchup for Denver with the 3 7-footers on Joker, and having Rudy just roam and having Cat or Nas play Joker straight up. I think now it's a bad matchup for Minnesota, just with how Denver's been clicking on all cylinders as of late, especially scoring. But 4 and 4.5 is probably like the right number. So I would stay away from the side, but I love the over. I think both teams will be able to score here.
Yeah. I could see Denver getting up for this game and trying to get some revenge, but Minnesota team total is my favorite play in this one. I like their team total go over. All right. Let's see here. That's it, Lonte. We've broken down all the games. Lock, dog, underdog. What do you want to do here?
Let's go with let's just keep it short and sweet. Let's go with I'll start with the lock. Well, I guess I'll start with the lock first. Let's go with, what do I want to go with? Let's go with Boston -2. If JT and I think JT and I think both of the Jays are going to play. So let's go with Boston. Getting a little bit of revenge off OKC, who's going to be shorthanded. Although the Jalen Williams thing, it's not really that big of a deal to me, to be honest. I know J-Dubs had a great year, but I think they got the requisite pieces to kind of replenish in the setting, like going forward. But yeah, so let's take Boston -2, and for the dog, let's go with Phoenix. I think Phoenix can win it outright against Houston.
Yeah, that's where you're wrong. Lock, Houston -4.5. Phoenix sucks, and the fact that you're taking them is actually insane. Wow, that's not what I thought you was gonna say as a dog. That's crazy. For my dog,
well, I don't know if Real just kind of cut off or whatever the case may be, but let's just wait for him to see if he's going to come back. But I considered playing Utah, especially if Lauri's going to play, which I doubt he plays. But yeah, so I consider that. But I think Phoenix is just in a good spot here. They've been playing well. Probably going to get Beal back. Don't really trust Houston to defend Kevin Durant. I mean, Dylan Brooks is going to try, but foul fest. Jabari's been playing really well, so I would look at some Jabari props as well. Yeah, I know everybody hates Phoenix. I know, but it's just, I mean, just the way they've been playing as of late has been really, they've been playing really, really well as of late, despite, losing. I think they lost 2 out of 4, but they've been competitive. They should have won both of those Memphis games. Kevin Durant missed a shot, but it is what it is. And then Beal is going to be back, so they're taking off some onus of the point guard position. And Tyus has been out of the he's been in and out of the lineup, so that's pretty weird. But I don't know what Real it was going to go with. I think he was going with Houston as his lock. I don't know what the dog was, but we can just put together an underdog lineup. I'm just going to try to bring up underdog real quick. Let's see. Okay, so let's start with Ricky Counts is not out. Let's start with LaMelo Ball. Higher. Let's see what his.
How long was I gone? I was gone.
Oh yeah, man, you were gone for a minute.
What? Did you hear any of my bets?
I heard Houston. That's it.
What? I was out since the Houston. What?
Yeah.
Yo, I looked up and I was like, Lonte, and then I clicked over on the screen and I was no longer here. And I'm like, what? Why didn't you say it? You didn't even text me.
No, I mean, I didn't know if like something happened or what.
Yo,
So.
I'm over here talking. I'm on the other screen. I'm trying to figure out the dog. I'm having a whole conversation, and
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, yo.
yeah. It's probably
And
like
then,
3-4
and then
minutes. Yeah,
I go back, and I'm like, wait, I'm not even on air.
yeah.
Dog.
I was just defending my son's pick. That's all.
All right, man. Rockets laying 4.5. Lock. Dog. Grizzlies 1-10 plus 235. Utah's going to cover the game. Grizzlies get the win. All right, let's get the underdog. What? I was gone. I was talking to myself for minutes. Had no idea. Okay. What are we doing here for underdog? What do we like today? Is there any birthdays today?
I'm not sure. I like LaMelo PRA higher.
NBA players' birthday. That's literally all I type. Let's see. Who was born on March 12th? Carson Edwards. Jeremy Grant. He's injured. I didn't even know Carson Edwards was still in the league.
He's been balling.
Yeah. Is he must be in the G League.
Kessler Edwards? No, he plays for the Mavs.
No. Carson Edwards.
Carson.
No, Carson Edwards. No, he must be in the G League. I have no idea where he's at. Like, I didn't even know he was still. Why is this? What they should really like fix this. I don't think he's an active player anymore. But wow, would have had one, but he's injured. Dang, that'd have been crazy. All right, no birthday game. Let me see here. What do we want to do? KD's been good to the points and rebounds. We can always go back to that.
Yeah, I like KD. I'm trying to figure out. It's another one that I liked. Jabari points. I like Jabari points higher.
He plays in Germany. Interesting. Oh, it's Justin Turner's birthday. Who is that guy?
He's a baseball player.
Does he play?
I think he's talking about a baseball player.
Yeah, but is that the guy with the beard? That's the guy with the beard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the guy with the beard. Oh man, I hope he doesn't go to the Yankees. Yankees gonna change that beard rule. They see his beard walk through the door. Nope, go back, shave them all off. Shave them all off again. Nope, he ruined it. Only took one person to ruin it. He ruined it. Shave them all off. All right, come on, man. We need what'd you say your other play was?
Jabari points higher, and I like Denny Avdia PR higher.
Oh yeah, I could definitely get behind a Denny Avdia play. All right, and no, we don't got Jabari. Got to
no Jabari.
Yeah, let me see if there's even Avdia. If there's no Jabari. Ew, campaigns up here. I take the lower off the strength.
Oh, you know what? Harden PRA. I think Harden has a triple double tonight, so I like his PRA over no Kawhi. High usage. I know it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, but I think Harden is going to have like 60% of the scoring, whether that's be him scoring or assisting.
Well, no Avdia either. James Harden here. Hold on. James Harden, PRA. So we got 40.5. Wow, it's kind of high, bro. 40.5 PRA. I can go to 8.5 assists.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever you want to do.
Or rebounds and assists is 14.5.
I'd rather just have the assists if we're going to choose. But, I mean, it's totally up to you, though.
All right, we'll go with James Harden assists. Let's fade Josh Hart. Even without Jalen Brunson in the lineup, Josh Hart has not been scoring the basketball or assisting the basketball. He's been under 22.5 assists and 6-8 without Brunson. Let's continue to fade Josh Hart there. So, and it's a lower. Cool. So we got Kevin Durant higher, 31.5 points and rebounds. We got James Harden higher, 8.5 assists. We can actually bump that up a little bit, and we can take that to 9.5 if you would like, since you like the triple double. It's a little spicy. There we go. 9.5 assists higher. And Josh Hart, lower, 22.5 points and assists. 6.72x over there at Underdog Fantasy. $100 gets you $672. Make sure you go over there and use that promo code NBA SGPN. Get that special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Lonte, that's it. Anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Nope, that's it.
All right. With that, yeah, no, Denny. Yeah, I would take Denny. They don't even freaking have um Denny obviously up right now. It's really annoying. All right. Yeah, that's it. Scott. That's it. Oh, I almost said Scott. All right, Lonte, that's it. He's at XX Lonte XX with the porn star at name. I'm at really real __. And make sure you give us a follow on YouTube, youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. Subscribe, like, comment, all of that stuff. Shouts out to everybody. The chat was booming today. Let's keep it going. We've got tomorrow is Thursday. It will be, I think, Scott and Lonte. Some combination of either me or Scott and Lonte here today. So make sure you do that. Other than that, nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.